The Bloodsport MMA Award number 3 for 2024. There are 10 awards, check them all out, is the Performance of the Year. The UFC always does Performance of the Night bonuses, but who really had the Performance of the Year 2024 in this video? Hello and welcome to Bloodsport MMA.
Assalamu alaikum Malada.
I am someone that always is pretty critical with the UFC with those performance bonuses, because mostly in my opinion those are more knockout bonuses than performance bonuses. But in this category I will really not rate the knockout, the finish, the performance.
I'm not impressed by your performance.
No matter how long the performance was, just how dominant it was. And of course, you might think, oh, you're a casual, you just mentioned the title fights and stuff. Yeah, because when you have a crazy dominant performance in the prelims and you fight a no-name that maybe even doesn't belong to the UFC, it's much easier to have a crazy performance. Because at the top, the cream rise to the top. At the top, you only have the killers. And if you have a crazy performance against a killer, that's what deserves an award, right?
You deserve it.
So what comes to mind when you think of the best performances of 2024? Recency bias, of course, Jon Jones against Stipe. I mean, Jon Jones showed the dominance in the wrestling, in the striking, with his hands and his feet on the ground with his ground and pound. I mean, that was the most beautiful ground and pound I think I've ever seen. Just elbows from every angle. That was a very, very dominant performance. I will not be mad if you even mentioned that as your number one. Of course, you think of Moicano versus Benoit Saint-Denis because he literally manhandled him, like he beat him everywhere, right, in every second of the fight. Of course, you think of Topuria versus Volk because I think Topuria versus Volk was a much more dominant performance than Topuria versus Holloway, because against Holloway he ate some shots as well. His face was damaged. Against Volk he did not really eat stuff.
And some steaks with burgers.
He was just stalking Volk down, dominating him and finishing him, right? But those are all just honorable mentions. The real performance of the year for me, and in my opinion this is a no-brainer, is Max Holloway against Justin Gaethje. UFC 300, the biggest stage of the year, Max Holloway coming up a weight class, in a weight class that he never won before in the UFC, right? He got beat up by Dustin Poirier like crazy, comes up, faces a guy that most people do not give him a chance to beat. Even I predicted Gaethje to knock out Max Holloway. Holloway comes out and just literally puts a clinic on Gaethje. It's not like Gaethje did not land one shot, but Holloway clearly dominated the fight in every round. And I mean, he broke his nose with the spinning back kick and stuff. Like it just felt like he was in the Matrix, and there was no way Max Holloway would be defeated that night. And what clearly won him that award is he already won the fight. He already beat the BMF champion of a higher weight class, Justin Gaethje, that is such a wrecking ball. He already beat him for 5 rounds. He already had the win secured, and he decides in the last 10 seconds to point to the ground, and absolutely stupid at the end of the day. If you really think about it, it was a stupid idea. If you think about it rationally, it was stupid against a bigger power puncher that has everything to win in those 10 seconds and kind of nothing to lose in a way, and you have everything to lose in those 10 seconds. You just swing with him for the fences and you flatline him cold, and he lays there like a dead body in the middle of the octagon with his nose bleeding all over the monster sign and leaving a blood mark in there. I mean, and then also the celebration, like electric, and the moment when he celebrated and he flexed his muscle and the doctor or whatever it was, like squeezed out a, how do you call that? I don't know how you call it in English, but that thing that is full of water over his head, and he was full of water, dripping, like screaming. It was just, everything about it was just epic, right? I mean, I will never forget that fight. I don't think I've ever reacted that crazy to a finish like that one. I was going nuts for like 20 minutes. I could not stop myself. I could not stop thinking about it for days, right? So this for me is clearly the performance of the year 2024. Max Holloway wins the Bloodsport MMA Award for Performance of the Year 2024. The best is blessed, baby. Congrats, Max. Performance of the Year against Justin Gaethje, UFC 300. What is your performance of the year? For your opinion, write in the comments. Would love to hear your takes. Make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel. Would appreciate that. Check out all the other awards of those 10s. Would appreciate that as well. Make sure to check out the Bloodsport merch, bloodshop.net. Link is in the bio. Flyest merch in the MMA industry. My merch. Check it out. Stay bloody. And until the next one. Bye-bye. Bloodsport out.